Follow along as we overland through the San Juans and camp on the iconic Ophir Pass, a Jeep Badge of Honor trail with non-stop beauty. Of course, we have some trails and cocktails, while relentless storms stay close on our heels. Squeezing up shelf roads in a full-size rig, enjoying epic views with my co-pilot, then making my way down to the historic town of Silverton for a well-deserved reward. Picking up right where we left off in the San Juans. So, rolling the dice, stopped at Trout Lake. See if we can't find somewhere to camp, but can't argue with that. Alright. We had to stop at Trout Lake to see if there's any trout. There are some trout over at Trout Lake, and look at that, it's actually got some size to it. In the rain, but proof I can't catch something bigger than 2 inches. There you go, nice little rainbow. Well, if trussels are your thing, that is pretty cool. And on the other side, you got that. Well, son of a bitch, I did not want to start Ophir today. But here we are. I could not find a camping spot that I really liked, and it started raining. I didn't really want to set up. And so now we're in the town of Ophir, which I'm sure you guys have probably seen this tackled a lot on some YouTube videos, but I've done it in my Jeep. She gone. So I'm gonna see if we can't tackle this in a full-size truck. I'm still not lifted. Stock size tires, but some new all-terrains. I mean, it's rated too, so it should be all right. I'm more worried about the width and length, but if I remember correctly, we should be okay, but we'll see. But right now, the priority is finding a campsite. Well, the weather kind of sucks, but it is super freaking pretty out. And there it is. There's Ophir Pass over there in the distance. Hopefully we can find a camp spot a little lower. The obligatory don't F up sign. Don't have to be big to be beautiful. Just like your mama always said. Weird. This rainy weather really does have an upside. Not to get soft on y'all, but there is something about aspen groves that is so peaceful. There's a soothing sound that slowly envelops you and really lets you get in touch with your thoughts. Wait, what? I need to get to camp and grab a beer. That's my deep thought. I was on Ophir a few years back, camped sort of by here, and was flying the drone around, and I thought I saw what would be a pretty sweet campsite. I marked it, and I am too far away from Utah to end up on Matt's off-road recovery if this goes pear-shaped, but this pays off, which I think it's going to pay off. This is going to be an epic campsite, and without Gaia, never would have happened. And yeah, I think we got it. Woo! Strolling up to the 5-star hotel like. Not making you wait on this one. No foreplay, bang for the buck, and straight to business. Absolutely perfect staging area to summit Ophir early the next day, and plenty of time to continue on to Black Bear, Imogene, or Poughkeepsie. Right off of one of the more iconic trails in the lower 48. How would you rate this campsite? With views that will forever transcend time with you and not another soul in sight, this is just about as good as Colorado gets. Well, I could think of one other thing that might make this night a little better. What's all this then? Well, let me tell you, it's another Trails and Cocktails, and it's a little different. I had 4 different drinks all ready to go, and it went out the freaking window when I was leaving Durango and stopped by this place called Honey House Distillery. I just thought they made honey because, you know, why wouldn't I? Of course they did. And I'm sure if you look back in the video, walked in there, huge place, super cool guy named Ian. They do make honey and barbecue sauces, everything like that, but they also have an actual distillery, hence the name. I didn't know. They have vodkas and whiskeys and all kinds of boozy, awesome drinks there, and they'll let you sample it, which I did, which convinced me to not only get some honey, but to get to one of their, I'll pick that up later, bottles of vodka, which you can see right. Yeah, and I think it was about 20 bucks and it tastes freaking amazing. So well worth it. And they have a bunch of recipe cards. So I went with the Hex Mule, like, I guess like hexagon or something along those lines for a honeycomb. Here it is. There's the ingredients, which it calls for blackberry liqueur. I happen to have blackberries, not the blackberry liqueur. And I do not have ice, didn't happen, but we are going to make it work. And I wasn't even going to do this tonight, but it stopped raining and found this nice little campsite on the way up. You guys are smart, or at least, sorry, I didn't mean rude. If you guys have been up Ophir Pass, you know exactly where I am. So I figured with this background, how could I possibly resist? So with no further ado, let's get this show on the road before it gets dark. I don't mind that, it's just sometimes you gotta whistle while you work. All right, let's struggle bus with this thing first. It's right. Okay, so it also calls for limes, and if you guys have made your Moscow mules, which is basically what this is, I had lemons, so we're going to do lemons because that's what I have. Ginger, like any mule we've ever had before. All right, I'm gonna go overboard on that. Let's do 3 slices of that. Let's do 3 of these big old berries. Just chuck in the mint. Let's do a, I don't know, pour and a half, two to 1 none, but a lot of vodka, because they make good. It's good stuff. And if you listen to the video at the beginning, Ian explains how they make this, and they distill it through honey, with honey. It's bananas. I don't know how it works. I'm just here to drink it. For once, I get to actually use a stir stick. Just a little bit for some sweet, because we're not gonna use simple syrup or anything else. And this is their honey, which, you know, I haven't even tasted it yet, so. Oh, that's freaking good. That is freaking good. All right, and let's get some lemon in there. You like the fancy new knife? Just like, you know, if I have to carve up a deer later. Got it just for making drinks. Can't have everyone else showing me up on these channels. Let's throw these 3 slices in there so it's a quarter. The lemon. All right, put that there so the table doesn't get all sticky. And I'm trying a new ginger beer. It's a Western Sun out of Texas. And I mean, everything in Texas is bigger, so this better be freaking amazing. So it's a little bit more ginger beer than normal because, well, I don't have ice to take up the rest of the room. Stir stick. All right, so this is the Grand Overland impromptu version of the Hex Mule from the Honey House Distillery in Durango, and let's see how we did. That's freaking amazing. That is probably the best drink I've made on this channel, like by far. That is good, and that's without ice, so it's a little on the warm side, but that's freaking amazing. So if you guys are going through Durango, stop over, check this place out. It is freaking awesome. They have all kinds of honey whiskeys and whatnot there. Give them a look, like you'll be happy, and they do little tours and whatnot, but make that drink. That is freaking amazing. But anywho, I'm going to shut this off, enjoy the rest of this and that, because I'm here just with my dog, which is gone. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this latest episode and stick with us, because tomorrow we're going to be tackling Ophir Pass, and so I should probably tone it down a little bit. Till next time. I know what you were thinking. Didn't this clown just have a table full of booze on screen and now he's grabbing an axe? This ought to be good. Spoiler alert, I did not end up on Trails and Fails after Trails and Cocktails. Better luck next time though. I'm bound to end up hurting myself on camera eventually. I don't know. Like Captain America's got anything on me. What are you doing? You doing, crazy pants? So the fire was dying, the wood was damp from all the rain, the fire pit was pretty much completely soaked. You know, I dug it out. Got it to go, died. So, got a little creative. Got my battery operated fan, which is pretty much meant for Moab. Set that angle down towards the bottom, bam! We have life. Sometimes you gotta get creative. Figures. Dewey gets a bed, sweet vest, and the camping chair next to the fire, and I gotta sit on the toilet. Fun fact, it really hurts when you try to cross your legs while sitting on a toilet. Well, saw those flashes coming over the horizon on the other side of the mountain range, and panic, got everything ready for an ensuing storm, because it's been following me basically this entire summer season of camping. But we'll see if it hits. I'm a little high to deal with a lightning storm, but meh. There's enough leftover trails and cocktails to get me through the night. Oh, and you better believe the apocalypse did come, and she hits a little harder at 10,646 feet. At least impending doom was still beautiful to look at. Well, this is what morning looks like, and the back of the truck is Dewey hating life. The sun is up. I need to clean up, pretend to eat breakfast, and then go hit Ophir. So 4 a.m. thunder equals slow start. Mountain pasture pancakes. Goodbye from the campsite. Get one more view from the top of the truck. We're gonna be going right over Myar in a second, minute, half hour. And then way down there is the town of Ophir, but I think it's gonna be a good day. So I'm sure you can see on the other camera, we are heading on the up and up part. And so far, super wide. Plenty of room for a full-size rig. I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch, but so far so good. And this time I'm not in a hurry, so it's absolutely stunning. Although if I look over there in the distance, maybe I get a shot of it. I think that's a squished car halfway down the side of the mountain. So, you know, things do happen. So it's a little bit more narrow, a little bit more drop-offy, and one of those parts where if someone's going the other way, one of y'all are backing up. I will say the only advantage I think I have with this versus the Rubicon is low center of gravity, which is kind of nice. Like if you kind of get a little off camber, you don't feel like you're on a waterbed out on the Bering Sea trying to go catch crab. That's the thing. It's not lifted yet, so it's pretty low to the ground. I don't have a rooftop tent, like acting like a pendulum on the top of that freaking thing, so pretty smooth sailing. So the only issue I've heard of from people, and I can feel it with this trail and trails like it, is it's all just loose rock. And if you come to a dead stop and lose your momentum and start to go again, you could definitely dig yourself a hole, and then you could have a problem. Like this problem right here. I have two guys on dirt bikes coming straight down the hill at me. Let's see how we navigate this. And there you go. So driving a full-size truck up Ophir Pass, was able to move over enough without dying to let two guys on dirt bikes pass on by. So, I don't know, I feel like we're answering some questions here.
Figured we would power through towards the top so you all don't switch over to a more entertaining Skinamax Overland channel, Trails and Tales, but still show folks what this trail is like if they haven't seen it before. Although Ophir does get rather twiggy, old school reference, there are some really safe and easy places to pass. These people did the right thing and used some common sense to make the whole experience safe, simple, and stress-free. I really appreciate it. Yes, the old Jeep is super cool and shows what can be driven up here, but this whole situation is a perfect teaching example of how not to pass on a shelf road and ends up looking like a monkey trying to fornicate a coconut. Even though I had the uphill right of way by the technical unwritten rule, I could see it would just be easier to back out of this Bush League mess and keep my hands clean. The guys in the Ford, not so lenient with the 4Runner driver doing his best impression of a deer in headlights. But I have to say, I do appreciate the passive-aggressive left-hand blinker.
Well, I'm sure you saw that kerfuffle back down over there. People coming up, like me, guy behind me, people coming down, people going up have right of way, but some people are little sticklers about it, and sometimes if there's a pull-off, it's just easier to get out of the way of people coming down. I don't know, use your head, people. But things got a little bit heated for a second. We're all out here to have fun, just mind your manners.
Back to the task at hand, how stunning are these views? This is the loose rock I was talking about earlier that can catch people out. Do yourself a favor, if you have one of them there fancy college-educated vehicles with traction control, turn it off.
Never get tired of that view.
The stone gates to the mountain summit.
And there you go, top of Ophir Pass. The Jeep Badge of Honor trail. So the sticker that I have in the back of the truck, I can now legitimately have back there from my Jeep. Not that bad. It's pretty freaking wide. I know I'm not the first full-size truck to come up here, but maybe it's the first time you've seen a full-size truck come up here. Don't let the reviews scare you. Give it a go. Whether you're Ford, Tundra, whatever it is, like, make it happen. It's totally worth it. There you go, right behind us is a Ophir Pass sign. We might be on top of the truck. There's Ophir over there. And that way, if you really wanted to, is Black Bear. but I think we did pretty good.
Let's get this party rolling. I have a cocktail date in Silverton. Hard to remember to keep your eyes off the merchandise.
All right, so we're coming up to the end of the trail, and kind of totally forgot about the back half. At least I call it the back half, the other side of Ophir. Pretty much just a dirt road. Beautiful views as always. It's hard to find something ugly to look at on down on this side of Colorado.
This side of Ophir is even easier and safer. The trail is consistently wide and is solid packed dirt. The mountains have a different personality on this side, but still absolutely beautiful.
You ever wondered, can a full-size truck tackle a Jeep Badge of Honor trail? It can.
Silverton is about as charming of a mountain town as you will find. Not to mention there will be plenty of other folks with built rigs, so you'll feel right at home. Plus, there's no shortage of watering holes where you can stop and relax so you can reminisce about the adventures you guys just had. Silverton has done a great job at preserving its past and heritage. I'd say that's my kind of location. Old Town Square in Silverton. Shit, you got COVID too. I told you I had a cocktail date. This time, I just had to run the trail and someone else provided the cocktail. Do yourself a favor and make a pit stop here to refuel. It will be yet another highlight in your unforgettable trip. And remember, what's your goal?